We're spending the month in Sri Lanka. This island country has just over 23 million people. And while it's tucked in south of India, the most important thing to know is that Sri Lanka is not the same as India. They are neighbors, but they have distinct cultures and history. Sri Lanka is a country with a turbulent history of colonization, civil war, and economic crisis. But that is just the past. So many of you have told me that I would love Sri Lanka and need to travel for its hospitality, food, and beautiful landscapes. Although the Southwest is more popular with surfers and people on holiday, right now it's monsoon season. And since we're more interested in Sri Lankan food and culture, we're starting in Colombo, the capital of Sri Lanka, and then heading north along the east coast, and then finally into the Central Highlands. Join us as we discover the cities, beaches, delicious food, and mountain villages of this beautiful country.
Most tourists who fly to Sri Lanka land in Colombo and leave immediately, but we are not like most tourists, and that's why today we're exploring the city. So we are at the Mayura Hotel, and you're thinking, why are we eating in a hotel? That's not usually what I do. However, here in Sri Lanka, hotel isn't always a hotel. Sometimes it's a shop, sometimes it's a cafe. It basically means it's a business. This place is known for rice and curry. It is the unofficial national dish of Sri Lanka. And that's because rice is such a beloved staple in Sri Lanka. I think they rival Indonesia and the Philippines, which how much they love rice. Now, when we came here, they were kind enough to ask just how much that we would like. I only like a little bit. We've only been here for 24 hours. We've had rice twice, and I said none because I was able to eat off Alan's dish. That's how much rice they gave us. Now, rice and curry basically is rice. You have 3 different types of sauce. So we've got a bean, a dal, and then an beet. And then you just choose your protein, and they give you an omelet. This place is supposed to be one of the best for that. I have mutton. Alan has prawn, which are the 2 most popular. All right, I'm just gonna dig in. Now, I'm really bad at eating with my hands, so please go easy on me. But as I understand it, you want to get everything in one hand, in one bite. So I've got a little bit of omelet, I've got a little bit of the bean, the dal, beet. I'm gonna kind of mix that in with the rice, and then I'm gonna try to scoop some of this mutton in. I'm so bad at this. And then just, oh, the mutton's really good. It's spicy, full of so many flavors. And when I say spicy, it's not hot. It's like spicy enough for me, except actually now it's getting spicier. I have to admit, I've tried eating with my hands many times, but I'm always terrible at it. But this actually, I think because it has so many sauces, it makes it so much easier. But now, what does Alan think about this? First of all, I want to see, how would you teach me how to eat with my hands? All right, so I realized I actually turned my mic off when I started shooting Alan, but he showed me how to use my hands a little bit more, and I'm actually inspired to try to eat with my hands the whole time. People in here were so nice. It was really great. But we are in Peta Market, the busiest place in Sri Lanka. The first spot we're going to head to is the Red Mosque. So right now we're in Peta Market. Not only is this the largest market in Colombo, but actually the busiest in all of Sri Lanka. It's so busy, so important to the city and to commerce that it is only ever closed twice. First during the pandemic, and then secondly in the 2022 national protests. But otherwise, this place is always open for business. Where you can get drinks and a sweet.
Okay.
There's all these men out there drinking something. Should we go there?
Okay.
All right. What is this drink? Oh, it's hot.
It's ginger. Ginger.
Do you know what this is?
I think it's mung bean.
Mung bean. It's a soup? Like bean? It's a bean soup.
Chicken soup.
It's chicken soup. And the drinks? You want a samosa?
So let's see what is inside.
I think it's samosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, samosa.
Egg, maybe carrot, and little bit vegetable.
Oh, looks good. That's okay. Alan was eating, but this nice gentleman came over to explain to us that the drink that we thought we were going to have is two different kinds of soup. So one is hot, one is sweet. I think we're getting is that the sweet one? And he said it's not soup, it's porridge. All right, so I didn't think coming out 38 degrees with the humidity that I would be having hot porridge. It's so hot, it almost burns your hands, which is really great for sanitary reasons. You want to be eating piping hot, but this is delicious. It is like a porridge. It's almost like an oatmeal, but it's sweet. It has some spices in it, like all of those warm, homey oatmeal spices. I'm sweating, but I'm gonna keep eating this because it's that good. So good. Alan's just paying up. He bought so much. How much did you spend on all of your short eats? 200? So they call snacks here short eats. And you spend 400?
No, just one.
100.
200
200 for the porridge, for samosa, for two snacks, and the porridge. That's a pretty good deal. So when you come to this mosque, there are two gates here and here that are for worshipers, but then they also have a gate number 3 that is for visitors only, and they have certain times when it is open that you can come in. We're waiting for this, and I think it will be that we might get a little bit of a guided tour. All right, so even though I made sure I was dressed appropriately with pants, they told me to put this on. Maybe that's how they identify who the foreigners are in our group. The nice thing about this is they have set times that you can come. So it doesn't matter what you're wearing. And then there's also an introduction and explanation. And then there's like a little Q&A session. So you can ask all the questions you were wanting to ask. Oh, and it also doesn't zip up, but that's okay. I'm actually appropriately dressed even without it. So Alan also needs to wear something, and that's because he's wearing shorts. So in a mosque, you do need to cover. But the nice thing is, every mosque we've ever been in, they actually provide something like this, and also something to cover your hair if you don't have something. All right.
This one is old mosque. So 120 years. This one. And that one is new part. 36 floor.
So do women worship here?
Yes, so
In a
women
different room?
separate.
Okay, so it's a different room, not behind the men.
Yes.
So this is the original mosque from 1908. It's since expanded. Originally, I think the mosque was only able to serve worship for 500 or 1,000 people. Now it's big enough to have 10,000. If you are a woman, you can't go everywhere. So right below us is part of the extension, and that's where the men worship, and the women actually worship in a different area. So that's a little bit different than other mosques that I've been in, where sometimes it will be side by side and there's a wall in the middle, or it will be men in the front, women in the back. Now, they say, some people think, are women in the back because they are somehow less worthy? No, I personally think it's probably because they're less distracted with the men in the front. Now, I read that this red and white is actually to symbolize a pomegranate, which is red and white. And so it's one of the more unique mosques you'll find. I think there's one that's a little bit similar in Malaysia, but other than that, this is one of the most unique. So as you can see, this is stunning. And now today, it is just this gigantic landmark. They say that even originally, the original part was once a beacon for sailors. They could see this colorful red and white building from the sea. But it's just majestic. It's pretty beautiful. So this was just a quick 5-minute tour. We got to see some things. I think they knew that a lot of people with us just wanted to take pictures, but it was really nice. The guy who does it doesn't normally do it. I think there's a little bit more of a formal tour, and if you have lots of questions, I had a few, they're always happy to answer. Thank you. All right, so we are at Bombay Sweet Meats, and I think they should call it Bombay Sweet AC because the air conditioning right now is everything we need in life. That was a great trip to the mosque, but putting those robes on was so hot. I'm so hot.
It's very thick.
So I said to Alan immediately, we need to go for a cold drink. And in Sri Lanka, that means faluda. Now faluda, they believe, is originally a drink or dessert that is from Iran, from Persia. And it has ice cream, rosewater syrup. It usually has black basil seeds, although they really look like chia seeds. And then sometimes they have this like jelly seaweed, which you often see in Indonesian dishes.
We have a lot of them.
Yeah. Do you have a drink in Indonesia that's like ice cream sweet?
Yeah.
Oh, what is it called?
Es campur.
Es campur has, oh yeah, es campur does have ice cream. Anyway, so this is like Sri Lanka's version of es campur. It comes like this, but what you do is you mix it up and then it looks like this. Well, actually yours is starting to set a little bit. Anyway, this place is so busy. I hope you can hear us. Let's give it a try.
So it tastes sweet and like a rose.
Like a rose, like a creamy rose?
Yeah.
I don't usually like the taste of rose in drinks, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I mean, it's cold, and so it's already winning me over. It is nice. It has these like, those black basil seeds are like chia, where they're kind of like gelatinous.
Yeah.
It's good though. It is very refreshing. I think the sweetness kind of cuts the creaminess. Not quite like a shake, not quite like a soda. It's good. We're gonna have this drink and then I think we're gonna check out the fruit market because there's a fruit in Sri Lanka that I've never had and neither has Alan. So it's 5:30 already, like time has just flown. It's getting really busy. I think everybody is getting out after work, but we're gonna go see if we can still catch the fruit market. I don't know if it's a day thing or also we will be able to try wood apple. Where can we buy more fruit? In there?
This is the area only marketing, other side and marketing.
For the fruits?
Fruits have. State and go price cost. State and go only have fruits.
Okay.
Anyway, fruits have.
Okay, thank you. So although Sinhalese is the majority of the people here, I'm never really sure what to speak to people, especially in this neighborhood where there are a lot of Tamil and they speak their own language. So I have a picture of the wood apple and I just show everyone that and everybody knows where to point me. So we found the wood apple. The challenge is they're selling it by the kilo because this is a place where people do their weekly shopping. I just want to have one. So 1 kilo is 120, which is actually a really great price. I don't know, maybe we should just get a kilo or maybe I'll see if we can buy less. Hello. Can I buy 1/2?
Please, okay.
Can I get one? Okay, just one? Yeah, just one to try? Yes, one. Thank you. Ah, get in? Ah, okay. So this is wood apple. I've never tried it. I've heard it stinks. The smell is not good, but I've heard it tastes good. It's very good. Sugar. It does taste like tamarind and a little bit of apple. It almost tastes like a tart apple sauce with a little bit of tamarind in it. It's so good. Sugar. Sugar?
Sugar, water in that.
And you drink it.
Ice.
And ice. Delicious. Thank you. Oh, this is different. This is same? Same.
Sini darah, batu darah. Oh.
How does it taste?
Maybe it's this sour one.
No, it's all sour. How does it smell?
Yeah.
Try this one.
It's sweeter,
It's sweeter.
but still sour.
But still sour.
You try this sour.
Okay, here. So you think this one's a little bit more sour? It smells like it's almost like fermented, but the taste, oh yeah, this one is more sour, but it's still good. This one is the best. This one is just like a tart apple with a little bit of tamarind. I like it. Wood apple. Who would have thought? All right, we should pay this lovely woman. No. We need to pay you. Let us pay you. Give her 100. That's 1,000. Okay. Thank you. Alan, you have no idea what money is, do you? Do you know how much you just paid her?
Huh?
Do you know how much you just paid her?
You tell me.
100. You just gave her 1,000.
No, it's 100.
No, it was 1,000.
So,
We paid 10 times what you would pay for a kilo with 2. However, those ladies were so nice. And Alan, it's his first day working with the money. He thought he gave them 100 for 2 instead of 120 for a kilo. But you know what? It is not easy being someone who works in a market. And so I'm totally fine. They seemed so happy to have that generosity. And they were very generous.
Arrived. I think we're in the textile area of Jaffna, which is great because I actually want to pick up a dress. Here in Sri Lanka, it's similar to India where everyone wears brightly colored dresses. I like things that cover my shoulders, and apparently they do here as well. So we're gonna get some lunch and then maybe I might check out some of these stores. It is considerably more hectic than that lovely little place that we were staying about 10 minutes away, which is so calm. There's a lot of traffic here. This is like definitely a major area of commerce. So we're here at the Malayan Cafe. This place is no secret. A lot of people come here, a lot of tourists come here, and right now it's all locals. When we got here, so busy, but I think the rush hour for lunch is starting to taper off a little bit because people are leaving. It's a little bit more easy breezy. We didn't know how to order, but someone came over and just said, just sit, and they will be over. So I guess we will have a server take our order. So if you want to get a heartier meal, you come out here and you can get rice and curry, which looked good, but we're just a little bit worried about eating something heavy to begin with. And so we just wanted to start light for the day. So as you can see in the back, rice and curry. And then here is just everyone having just lighter meals. One of the things that we were looking forward to most, especially knowing we're coming to North Sri Lanka, was we would get some chai, also known as milk tea here. So they don't call it chai, but I think everybody knows what you mean if you say chai. Did you order chai or milk tea? Chai. So Alan said chai. They knew exactly what he wanted. I said milk tea. Mine is without sugar. His is with. It's so hot. They put it in this because I think they know you just can't pick it up. Oh, mine doesn't have any sugar. I don't know if that's true. It is so full of flavor. It's really good. Just spicy. It's just this combination of spices. Now, I will give you a little tip, and I might have said it. You don't say chai tea, because chai actually means tea. So if you say, can I have a chai tea, you're saying, can I have tea tea? Here, you don't say chai tea, or you don't say chai, you say milk tea. Whatever you say. I think you're gonna get this. It's hot out, but still, this hot tea is so good. One of the things you'll notice is almost everything, if you go to a local place, is served on this banana leaf. So multifunctional, you don't have to clean it afterwards, biodegradable. It is the original biodegradable plate. Alan got some simple roti or paratha, and they asked us if we wanted avada. I just think in Sri Lanka, you should never say no, especially to food. Avada is basically like a savory fried donut. I don't love sweet donuts, but these things, so good. Oh, we've got more sauces coming. Ooh, that looks good. You open it up, it's still warm here. So good. And you get a little bit of this. Now, I just think a lot of the snacks here, they're very filling. They're a lot of bread or like a white pea based kind of flour, and they keep you full for a really long time. Fried isn't the healthiest, but you know, you're not eating this every day. Oh, spicy. But also I can see they've got some onion in here. And when I say spicy, I don't mean hot, but just like full of flavor. So many different spices going on. And then you add a little bit of this. So good. Every time we go out to eat, we order too much food because everything looks good. It's really hard. My eyes say yes, my stomach says no. But we're going on a walk next, so I feel like I can eat a lot and then work it off. All right, so the masala dosa was sold out by the time that I ordered it, but they had the regular dosa, and the nice thing is when you get the dosa or you get the paratha, you get it with dal. Dal here is like so good. It's lentils. Now the regular dosa is basically like I would call it like a South Indian crepe, similar to that, except it's made from fermented gram and rice. So you can see all of these bubbles. It's nice, light, airy. I'm gonna mix it with some of this dal. The dal is so rich in flavor. I was really worried coming to Jaffna that everything would be too spicy because I know they like it hot up here. But all I'm tasting is flavor. Maybe it's my head cold, but I'm not tasting this like intense heat. In Colombo, I had some things where I had one bite and thought, I can't eat any more of this. But so far, I'm gonna eat all of this. All right, so we just found out that this white chutney that we really like, and we've had so many times, and we didn't know what it was. It's coconut and green chili, and it's delicious. And we've eaten it so many times, and I could just eat buckets of this. The nice thing about people here, Sri Lankans are so proud of their food that if you have a lot of questions like, what is this? I want to eat it, but what is it? They have no problem telling you and telling as much as you want to know. I know you're not supposed to eat with your left, but it was in my left hand. So good. I can't wait for this time. I mean, we just arrived yesterday. We haven't had a lot to eat. This is only the second thing, but this is so good. All right, all of that. The 2 milk teas, the Coca-Cola, the vada, dosa, 2 parathas, I think that might be everything, was only 600. I would say, you know, Sri Lankans are known for their hospitality, and you really also see that in the restaurants. It was just really nice. Their server was so fantastic. So, Nandri. We spent more time in there than I thought we would. So we're going to skip shopping. That'll have to be tomorrow off camera. Instead, the next place that I want to go to is historical. It's a very sad site, but also one that's very important in history here. Oh, it's only 3 minutes. So actually, we could have just walked there. Not great lighting, but I did want to talk about driving here. So Jaffna is not for the faint. There is a lot of crazy driving in this region. I trust Alan because he's used to driving in Asia. But if I were Western, I'd think twice about it. So just take that and decide what you want to do with it. The North may not be for you for driving. windy, but you know what? It's warm out, so I'm really enjoying this. We just visited the Jaffna Library. As we drove in, the guard warned us we couldn't actually film inside, but I just want to tell you, if you are a library lover, it smells like books and old wood. It is amazing. It's also very important to the history of Sri Lanka as a whole, not just northern Sri Lanka. So it was built in 1933, and over time, it was one of the largest libraries in all of Asia. Had many Tamil and Sinhala text manuscripts, palm leaf scripture, so many important things in history. And unfortunately, in 1981, during a 3-month anti-Tamil pogrom, it was actually burnt to the ground by the police, and they say government-sponsored paramilitia, according to Wikipedia, not me. But they lost so much of their history. They recovered some, but not all. And so it reopened in 2021 today. It is a beautiful place to go in. As I said, it's not actually a museum. It is a working library with archives and study halls and things like that. So I think it's interesting to go into, but just no photos, no video inside. But I'm glad we went. And then just around the corner, we are now at Jaffna Fort, which was built by the Portuguese. I'll get into that a little bit soon. I'm just gonna get Alan because Alan loves forts, and so that's why we're here. Here, the country's right here. So foreign tourists, 1525. I think this might be locals. And then if you are a member of a SAARC country, which are basically the South Asian countries, you pay half of foreign tourists. Some people don't like that tourists have to pay much more than locals, but I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. 1525 for a local to see is just outrageous compared to our disposable income. So I think it's fair. Very fair. Although we did double check to see that Indonesia wasn't part of SAARC. It's not. All right, let's get a little bit more Wikipedia facts in here. So this fort was built in 1618 by the Portuguese. 40 years later, actually, the Dutch captured it. So the Portuguese did not keep it for very long. But the structure in the Pentagon is that of the Portuguese. And then just under 150 years later, the British took control of that. But that was not the end of the struggle here. So, if you don't know, there were decades upon decades of a civil war here in Sri Lanka. And to be honest, if you read a little bit more, as I've been doing, it was really caused because of colonization and pitting local Tamils and Sinhalese against each other, and the inequity between the two. So really, really interesting. I am reading a book right now called The Seasons of Trouble. So good. I'll put a little cover of it for you, but really interesting from the Tamil perspective, which is where we are here in Jaffna. So during the Civil War, the fort took different possessions. So for a while, the LTTE, or the Tamil Tigers, they had possession of it, and then the Sinhalese government. And then also part of the destruction here is not only from the two of them, but also locals who had their homes destroyed, just decided that they would take stone from here to help rebuild their houses. So just so much history in this that you would not expect. But we're gonna go check it out because Alan loves forts.
I like the story. I like the old structure. It's to remind us how the historic going before us or world in this world.
Yeah, so Alan actually makes a really good point here, is that it reminds you of what happened before we came. And one of the things I think is just really beautiful here is, you know, it wasn't that long ago that Sri Lanka was in a civil war, and now it's not perfect today. And so I would never want to say everything's fine, everyone's happy, but the fact that they were able to come out of that, and really the goal in Sri Lanka is for unity and to appreciate the diversity of the different cultures here. Because Sinhalese and Tamil are not the only two. You also have Muslims, a lot of Muslims that we saw in Colombo, so that was great. And then you also have Chinese, you have the Burghers, who are descendants of the Dutch and locals. So they have usually a parent of each, and then I think also some Chinese and other cultures. Anyway, let's go check this out. Okay, so this is great. There's actually an explanation here and some correction on my Wikipedia information. So originally it was 4 parts by the Portuguese, and then when the Dutch came, they added the 5th part. What I like about this is they have the explanation in English as well, and it's brief. So it gives you a good amount of information. See, this is the pond that you can go to. It's 45 minutes away, but here, right now, it's peak heat in the afternoon. So you see locals are hiding behind the tree. It's very breezy, which is fantastic, but I think also the breeze takes away the fact that you're probably burning. So if you're gonna come here like us in the afternoon, only come for a little bit and try to stay in the shade as much as possible. You can actually walk up top too. Also, we know from our time in the Philippines, we can recognize all of these stones, which you can see are made from coral, by all of the patterns here, which makes sense because we are right by the sea. Oh, views of lots of garbage. That's not the nicest. But I don't know if you guys can see. Over there at the parking lot, there's cold drinks. So I think we're gonna hit that up.
It's a combination between fort and a view.
Yeah, it is. It's like a fort and a view.
At the time they built it.
Yeah. That was really great, actually. Every time we do something that Alan wants to do, I end up really enjoying it. But we have to get a drink. It's so hot, very thirsty, I would say in Sri Lanka. Just hydrate, 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 because you're probably already dehydrated. We made it to the beach. I'm going to butcher this name because I meant to ask someone how to pronounce it and I did not. This is the most popular beach for locals. It cost us $500 each to get in, plus $100 for parking. There are lots of facilities here. You've got lots of vendors, food, snacks. Alan might need a coconut. No alcohol or smoking on the beach. So getting here wasn't actually that easy. Google Maps started out great. And then at the very end, instead of saying just to go straight down to the beach, which is very easy, it tells you to turn right and then to turn left down Beach Road. And that's not the beach. I mean, there is a beach there, but that's not this beach. And then so we thought we would also go down a little dirt road that we found because we knew we could hear the music, we could hear the people, we just didn't know where the road was. That didn't work either, but finally we retraced our steps and we found it. And we've got some Sri Lanka coconut. I forgot my metal straw today. It is so sweet. Now Alan said, I think you also have this yellow coconut they also have it in Sumatra. So I thought this was only a Sri Lankan coconut, but maybe it was originally Sri Lankan and then also went to Sumatra because both countries were colonized by the Portuguese at one time, the Dutch at one time. So a lot of fruit went from country to country, from Latin America to Asia and vice versa because of colonization. And this is definitely something I would want to bring home. Small, but so sweet. This was $150. I don't know if that's a good deal or not, but right now it's definitely worth it. The sand here is beautiful. It is so soft. It's just super fine sand. It's not a white sand, it's more like a gray, but it's still so beautiful. You can see that the fishermen are starting to come in for the day, and then everybody's just out enjoying the late afternoon. So I had actually heard that this was not one of the most beautiful beaches around, that there are lots of beautiful white sand, turquoise water beaches that you can find in this area that no one is on. But that is great. I do love being on a beach and having it to yourself, but I also really wanted to know what it was like where do locals go, what do they do, what is their life like? For me, that's more interesting, and also because I get to go to beaches all the time. So It's far more interesting for me to see, and some of my favorite moments have always been experiencing the beach with locals, just seeing how they live. And so here you can see people are so excited, and as I expected, women are very moderately dressed. Actually, people are going in their clothes. Good morning! So nice to meet you. Thank you. This is Alan.
Okay, nice to meet you.
It's Sumithi?
Yes.
Angelina.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Good morning. Welcome to Jaffna.
Thank you. So first stop is not food related at all, but for a very good reason. Today is one of the biggest festivals in all of Sri Lanka, and it happens in Jaffna. We had no idea, so we're gonna stop by there first, check it out, and then we'll have some room for food. So we are going to try miksha. It's because it's mixed together. So it's mixed curry leaf dal peanuts. So you can see the curry leaf. This is actually chickpea, not peanuts, and dal. This is a popular snack, she said. I'm gonna give it a shot. Get a little bit of everything. Salty, a little bit spicy. It's good. Woo!
This is Jaffna special drink, sherbet.
Sherbet.
Yes.
So this is sherbet, not faluda.
Yes.
Different. Is it different from faluda?
Yes. Faluda and
Has ice cream. Okay.
Please stop that.
So this is different from faluda that we had. It's distinctly a Jaffna drink, and she said it's called sherbet. Very sweet, but it's good. It is so hectic here. Is it a nut?
Use curry.
Oh, you use it in...
Toby.
Do I put it in my mouth? Okay. Still not totally sure what this is, but they say they use it in curry. I'm gonna try it. And it will be sour. You think? It is sour. It's almost like a sour candy. It's a good snack. I don't cook. I think he should sell it as a snack. It's good as a snack. Well, now that was so interesting because we have seen those little things in the market in Colombo, and I had no idea what they were. I thought it was a snack. We almost bought a bag as a snack, but actually they're used for cooking. But I think he should start selling them as a snack because it's a little good sour candy.
This is Jaffna grapes.
Jaffna grapes.
Yes.
How are they different from regular grapes?
Urumbra and other areas.
Do they taste different?
Yes.
I also tried that in Colombo, the wood apple. So interesting. And the mango is different. Is that Jaffna mango? No. I love the colors that all the women wear here. I'm so jealous that there are so many bright and vibrant colors. I want all of the clothes. I have to say, even though this is a food tour, I'm so glad we are here with her because we're learning so much about it, and we would have totally missed this without this tour. Hello, how are you? Nellore Kannaswamy Temple Festival is 25 days long and is Sri Lanka's longest holy festival. The temple dates back to the 13th century and served as the capital of the Jaffna kings. Today, it is one of the most important temples in Jaffna. It is an honor for Lord Murugan, and worshippers practice Hindu traditions that are thousands of years old, such as throwing coconuts and themselves onto the ground to demonstrate dedication to their faith. We would soon see just how passionate devotees are. I am so glad we are here with Sumithi because I would not have had the confidence to walk in there or know what's going on. or you have to take your shoes off, and she knew someone where we could leave our shoes, so they would actually be there when we came back. So not what we expected for the start of a food tour, but this I think is more special. What do you think so far?
I think
It's pretty amazing.
it's a big of great culture in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, to experience this, we had no idea it was happening. Even though we were in the city, we had no idea it was happening. As we walked through this crowd, I just wanted to say one more thing that Sumithi told me, is that even though this is traditionally a Hindu festival, it's actually a multicultural, multi-faith. And so everyone is invited here. A lot of Christians, a lot of Muslims come here, not just Hindus. So people from all over Sri Lanka come during festival time, which is a few weeks long. So for us to experience this is pretty fascinating. Jaffna sweets.
Tumbu mitai. Tumbu mitai.
Tumbu mitai.
Yes,
It looks like a candy here in Indonesia, in Padang. I had this when I'm childhood, and now I'm trying in Sri Lanka. Great.
And so I think wherever you go in the world, everyone loves a little bit of this. This is 200. I should not be eating sugar first thing in the morning, but it feels so right. So good. What a start to the day. That was crazy beautiful, but also a maze of people and colors and sounds and flavors and just like sensory overload. So many people, so much going on. It's really nice to have someone with you that can tell you what's happening and also where to go, what to do, and where you can put your shoes to the side. We paid 100 rupees to store our shoes, which was just money well spent. On our way to lunch, Sumithi told us to quickly get out of the tuk-tuk to see a local tradition that we could not believe. Men had hooks in their back and their legs. One was bouncing from a tractor and the other spinning from ropes on the ground as they circled the exterior of the temple. It was so colorful, loud, and almost unbelievable if I hadn't just seen it. So we're back somewhere familiar. Right behind me is Jaffna Library, but what I didn't realize is this is a really important region for the people here because years ago, during the time of Troubles, the season of Troubles, 36 people were actually executed by the government here. And Sumithi was telling us such an important story about Jaffna that every place that you go has a story, and it's a sad story. And so this place is very popular for locals, but also considered a place of silence. And there's also a temple here that's very important, which we're gonna go check out. Although our initial plans of having a food tour were impossible, Sumithi was able to show us something we will never forget. Sumithi spoke to the family and they allowed us to witness the traditional Para Kawadi ritual. The young man was going through traditional rituals and prayer and about to be pierced and hung from the tractor. His family welcomed us to see the temple tradition, including inserting the hooks into his mouth, back, and legs so that he could be hung and driven from here to the city and the Nellore Kandaswamy temple. I gotta be honest, I don't want to show a lot of this footage because it's very painful. This tradition is not mandatory. Men volunteer to do this, often for penance or hope that their act of devotion will help grant their wish for something important, and God will protect them from pain. Sometimes shooting video, you can separate yourself from the subject, but this was difficult for us. I could not shoot it, and Alan could only see so much through the lens, so I'm not going to show you the most gruesome shots. We saw extreme pain, both from the young man, but also his family praying for him. I cannot imagine the trust needed in faith, but also the men surrounding him to insert the hooks and safely lift him up by ropes. But we did see his grimace disappear, and he smiled at Alan as he left. What an unbelievable morning. I really did not think I would participate in this much of the culture of Sri Lanka and this festival. So to see this in the street, which we had seen earlier in the day, it almost is fantastical, unbelievable. You don't think of the pain. It's almost like something like, oh, I need to take a video, a picture because it's crazy. But then when you actually start to see it happen and the pain, it's really physical pain, but then also for the family and the friends and the people around him that are trying to keep him safe. I'm really overwhelmed by all of it, and Alan at times just had to walk away because it's really such a commitment to faith to have that pain. They will go for 5 kilometers, they will drive around. It's unbelievable. I am so thankful to this tour, and just that she arranged that it was okay for us to shoot video, to feel comfortable, to participate. Wow, what a day. Good morning from Upaveli Beach. We are in the heart of Trincomalee. It is September 9th. And the reason I'm telling you that, because I don't normally include dates, is because a lot of people who come to find the best beaches in Sri Lanka go to the south, the southwest. However, right now it is still raining there. They are in monsoon season, whereas as you can see here in Trincomalee, it is bright, beautiful, gorgeous days. It's 8 a.m. and it's already so hot. I love it. We arrived here 4 days ago, and as soon as we arrived, I changed all of our plans because this is like an old school beach town. They've got restaurants and little cafes and local places. Things are not too developed. You know, a lot of places your feet are still in the sand when you eat. That is what I love. No clubs, no expensive beach resorts or beach clubs. This is the way I remember traveling, you know, in so many places. We have loved it here. Now, Trincomalee region is actually a long coast, beginning with the town. You've got a number of beaches. You've got Upaveli, where we are in the heart. And then farther north is Neelaveli, which is supposed to be even more remote, more beautiful. So that is what we're going to share with you today. Some of the things we've been to and we love, some of the things we're going to discover with you. But first, I'm going to take you to my favorite place to eat, and it is not in Upaveli. I think this is the bread guy. It is the bread guy. It's a little tuk-tuk with bread. We're gonna have to see if we can catch that later. Now, I also want to say that even though my favorite place to eat is not in this area, and that is because as a typical beach town, it's also, all the restaurants are made for tourists. So we're gonna take you to a local one. But we have loved a lot of restaurants here. We really enjoy it. We really enjoy that they're close. As I said, my hotel or guest house is attached to a restaurant. It's just that I feel like you'll discover all these things on your own. If you're coming here, lots of people write about these places. But I want to take you to a spot that is where locals go, and even talking to people here, they said it's their favorite spot in Trincomalee. Alan is just getting set up for a video on his own channel, Motor Rounds, with his snazzy new helmet and GoPro.
Let's go.
Let's go. So although we're staying in Upaveli Beach, and it has some really great restaurants, those restaurants are for tourists. So our favorite place to eat is not in Upaveli, it's actually in Trincomalee, the city, and it's right across the street from a bus station. We found it because it was about to rain, and so we came in, the servers welcomed us, such great hospitality, showed us all of the food, and then all of the people who were eating here were so nice to us, wanted to talk about where we were from, what we were doing. The energy here is hopping. So many people coming in and out, and the food here is really good. So we're here for breakfast. We're going to have a traditional Sri Lankan breakfast. On this plate we have string hoppers. Alan wanted some roti, and then I also got pizza, which I've never had before, but Alan said they actually also have in Indonesia. We have some dal, which we are both obsessed with. It's just lentils, and then this coconut sambal. I have eaten so much of this. It's shredded coconut. It's got some fresh spices in it, chili, it looks like curry or lime leaves. It's really good. I eat it with almost every meal. And then they've given us some more food. I feel like it's like if you touch the food, you buy it. If you're not interested, no big deal. And of course,
we've got some milk tea. Now here they call it milk tea, not chai. It's not masala, but it's sweet. It's perfect for the morning, a little bit hot, but also good. This is a Muslim restaurant. You will find Muslims along eastern Sri Lanka. And because it's a Muslim restaurant, that also means they have beef. You won't find this in the Tamil restaurants, but you will find beef in the Muslim restaurants. And so that's what he's gonna have for breakfast. All right, so string poppers are simply just rice flour, and they are actually one of the easiest things to eat with your hands. So you eat it with a little bit of dal, a little bit of coconut, you put it in your mouth, and it's fantastic. Very, very common to have here at breakfast, but what I wanted to share was something I haven't had, and that is pitu. So pitu is ground rice that is then steamed. You can find it in southern India, but it's also common here. It often has coconut shavings in it, which I think that might be it, but also it might also have layers of a sweet or a savory filling. This looks like it has coconut. Again, something very easy to eat. I'm just gonna take a bite of it on its own. It's nice and light. You can see it's rice, but it's actually ground rice. And the idea here is this is your starch and you would eat it with something else. They've given us so many options. I think we've got some squid, some shrimp, eggs in chutney. We've got some regular boiled eggs. We've got Allen's, beef. As I said, I'm going straight for the dal. Just like in India, I just find a lot of the vegetarian foods here so good. I'm gonna eat a little bit of this with that. But I'm gonna put the camera down because it gets a little bit messy. Maybe we'll set this up on a time lapse. It's really nice when you have an experience like this. I think eating the best food in a country is not just the food, it's the people that you eat with, the people that serve you, and just the energy of the room. Hello. Is there a restaurant that we can eat here? Okay, do we go straight?
No problem.
Okay, thank you. So we made it. I'm not entirely sure what the story is with this place. It's not very busy, but it's also Thursday. And I think a lot of locals make up most of the guests that come here on the weekends. So I've heard the reason that most people choose not to stay in Nila Valley, Westerners, is that it's very remote and very quiet. So if you're looking for a quiet, relaxed, nobody else on the beach, this is the place to be, apparently. As I said, the resorts are really spread apart from each other, so it's not like you can kind of hop from one to another like you can in Upaveli. We really like that in Upaveli because you can kind of go for a walk and there's always something going on the beach, but this one should be for people who just want to relax, get away from it all. And you can see it's beautiful here. And if we had come straight here, I think probably would have been like a 9-minute drive from our place in Upaveli. So first impressions of Nila Valley Beach and this beach hotel. So I would say opposite of Upaveli in that you really do feel like you're on your own. You don't see a lot of people around. It's very quiet. The beach is white sand, and I do think that you can surf maybe in some of the other areas. It is 4 kilometers long, but it is quite beautiful and it is very clean. Now, it kind of depends on what you want to do. Do you want to have a beach scene where there's lots of people, a good vibe, like lots of trendy things to do, or do you want to be out here on your own and the only thing you hear is the ocean? But you also have, out there is Pigeon Island, which is a protected park. It used to be a really popular spot for snorkeling, but I've heard for a number of factors, some contributed to man, some contributed to nature. The coral around there actually isn't that great, and so I do know that they're really trying to work with conservation to bring it back. Not all of it is because of over-tourism. Part of it is actually because the water temperatures are rising, and so there's this effect called coral bleaching, where the coral ejects all of the wildlife and then, eventually dies. And then next to it is a spot called Angel Rock, which is an interesting looking rock. And there's a lot of snorkeling around here just in general, and then also you can go diving. A lot of people in Upa Valley, I think, actually go diving in this area. So if you do come here, you can have the quiet, and then also have a number of activities. And then if you want, it's just a short tuk-tuk drive into Upa Valley if you feel like you want a little bit more energy. But it's nice. It's nice to be able to have a little bit of both so close to each other. Alan, got us. I have a Sri Lankan king coconut waiting for me, it looks like, and Alan got one of our favorites, lime soda. All right, time to relax with my little, I don't know, it kind of looks like a little Mickey Mouse king coconut. The coconuts here are so sweet. They're a little bit smaller, but they're so tasty. This was $4.50. Lime soda was, I think, $1,300. So prices here are a little bit more than you'd have in a regular restaurant because it is a resort, but we do have loungers. The staff are so nice, and I'm just ready to relax. We've made it back home to Upa Valley Beach, and you know what? It was interesting. Nila Valley was great, but I don't actually know why everyone raves that it is so much more amazing. And actually now I know why. When we got gas and I talked to the gas station attendant about going to that beach, he was like, oh yeah, it's good. Fernando's Market. So Fernando's, I think, used to be just a beach bar, but now there's a wine bar, there are burgers, hello, there is pizza, there is a coffee spot, which gelato, they've got a regular bar, and then around the corner they also have like dumplings, Asian bar, tacos, and burritos. So you basically go up and pay. They give you a number, and then you go sit wherever you want to sit. And this is Fernando's Beach Market. We've been here multiple times, mostly for coffee, just because the coffee here is really good. Alan likes to sit away from it all. The chairs are all wonky, and then you can just kind of see this beach. It's beautiful here. And so when they talk about Nila Valley, yeah, I can see a lot more people here, but also sometimes you want to be around a lot of people, and this is nice because it's not too many people at all. The whole time we've been here, I would say this is kind of the max for this area. So we have spent the last just couple days on the beach pretty much doing nothing. Spending our time, we'll come here for coffee because it's very strong, but also I learned something from them that was really cool, and that is this little piece of syrup here is called Kithul syrup, and it comes from the fishtail palm. And so they said to me, what we're giving you is not sugar syrup, it's actually like maple syrup. And I'm from Canada, so I was all about it. So basically, same thing as maple syrup. Like they tap the tree, they boil it down, and this is a syrup from this area, but not a lot of people want to make it anymore. And so to actually have this is such a treat. I didn't even know about it, and it's just like sugar. And it looks like maple syrup, and it tastes almost like a sweet brown sugar syrup. It's really good, and I love that even places like this, not only are they serving it to you instead of having sugar, but they're also sharing with you, like they're sharing part of their culture with you. It's really great. Good morning from the second largest city in Sri Lanka. That is right, we are in Kandy, a place that I didn't think that we were going to come to, and I also didn't think we were going to like. But Kandy is actually a UNESCO Heritage Site from 1988, and it's considered a sacred city. Now we call it a city, but it's only 100,000 people. And so I thought this would be like a big tourist trap, but as soon as I got here, I loved it. And part of that reason is it's a small city. there's so much to do. We decided to stay right downtown so we could go to all the cafes and restaurants and just see all the local buzz. And that's what we're doing right now. We're heading for breakfast. Now this place is a little bit challenging to find, and that's because it's actually through a little bit of a shopping mall, but I'm pretty sure we should see a sign. Here we go. I saw this initially on a forum, and they said you have to go through a shopping mall type thing and just look for it. I thought it was upstairs, but Alan was just like, what about this sign here? It's through the back. So, authentic Sri Lankan taste. This place is known, and it's busy already. All right, so we're at Mandia for breakfast. It opens at 9 and I think closes around 4, probably until they run out of food. This place is very busy. It only has 3 small tables, but the amount of people, locals, who come in and out and are getting takeaway is non-stop. There was so much to try. They've got chicken, fish, vegetable, prawn, mushroom. They have a little bit of everything, dal. So we try to get a little bit of everything. It looks beautiful. So I got he said it was kind of like a mango. He would tell me what fruit it is, but it's sweet. I also got some prawns, mushrooms, dal. Also with the chapati and this beautiful rice. Alan got chicken. We're just gonna dig in. I've heard this place is good, so I have high expectations and I'm eating with my hands because that is my commitment while in Sri Lanka, is to try to eat everything with my hands. It's good. The mushrooms are great. Full of flavor, very rich. And then actually, you didn't get any of the sweetness, but you might want to try it. A little bit spicy, a little bit sweet. Get into these prawns. This is a great spot. I can see why it's so popular for tourists to come because it's very inviting, but then also you see this is a real deal with lots of locals coming in and out. The camera is taking up a lot of room in this small dining room, so we're gonna maybe turn it off to be a little bit more respectful to everyone. This is so good. My mouth is on fire. We were just talking about how it's not like hot spicy, it's strong spice. And so kind of in some ways reminds me of Caribbean food. Yeah, or some places in India, but my eyes are watering. Not all of the food is spicy. There's dal, not spicy. And then there's this fruit, I think actually is like a type, they call it a type of I think it's pot tamarind, but I think it's the prawns, the shrimp are spicy. I ate a chili pepper, a green one. My mouth tastes like Botox, they're swollen. But good, really, really good. I would definitely recommend this spot. Whew. After this bus goes by, because the buses are so loud. Kandy is a small but loud city, lots of buses. But it is actually quite small. I think the whole area, the court, is only 2 kilometers. And we're on the main street where all the buses go down. So it is a little bit, it's busy and a little bit loud.
Rush hour.
It is rush hour. The kids just got out of school, so it is a little bit busy. But most people in Kandy, when they come to visit, stay up in the mountains. It's about a 10 to 15 minute walk uphill, or probably a tuk-tuk ride that costs about $1. We decided to stay down here because we knew we just wanted to kind of walk around the city. Also, to be truthful, we are a little bit lazy, and so we didn't want to do it. But Kandy is not the original name for this city, obviously. It doesn't sound like it. It's the colonizer name. And we are heading down to Kandy Lake right now, which is a large artificial lake and probably one of the most popular places to visit. So right behind me is probably the biggest tourist attraction here in Kandy. We just walked down the main street across from the Queen's Hotel next to the lake. This is the Buddhist temple with the relic of Lord Buddha's tooth. And so you can visit during the day, but I believe at 6:30 at night they actually have a showing of this tooth. We are not going today, I think maybe tomorrow, but I've seen online that when people go to see this tooth, it's like mayhem. Everybody wants to see it. It's a very big tourist attraction. For us, it will be interesting to see not only this temple, but also just how energetic people are about it. But today we're taking it easy. We're gonna go for a walk around the lake. Beautiful day to be here. So this is mid-September. We didn't really know what it was going to be like during monsoon season, but the sun is out. It is fantastic. Now, this is Kandy Lake, not its original name. It's one of many artificial bodies of water throughout Sri Lanka. And originally it was actually a rice field that had a pond in the middle. And its Sinhalese name translates to Sea of Milk. But I think it's just like this beautiful, calm place here in the middle of the city. The one thing I will warn you about though is if you stand here for very long, someone is going to try to come up to you and sell you some kind of tour or just chat you up. There are lots of touts. So just be kind, friendly, and firm that you're not interested if you're not interested. Let's go take a walk around the lake. So if you look right up here, you can see it would be beautiful to stay up here. You get such a nice view of the city. But for us, we feel like you could stay up here and look down at how beautiful it is, or you could be here in the middle of beauty. I was just telling Alan that this actually reminds me of the lake in Hanoi, because in Hanoi it was quite hectic, but somehow around the lake all of the noise just kind of went away, and you see the same here, like traffic just feels so far away as we just hear a huge bus beeping, but it does. This is a really nice spot. You see a lot of people kind of walking. You can get a boat ride too, I've heard. I've seen some boats down there, but I've heard, I think it's $12 US maybe, more or less, and they'll take you on a 30 or 45 minute boat ride around the pond. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow too. We got a lot going on here. There's so much to do in Kandy. Now, a lot of people use this as the base and go do a lot of other things in the area, but we're easing our way into it. So today it's just walking around Kandy. We have decided to go for milk tea and something a little sweet at a spot that looks really interesting, but also not on the main path. I shouldn't say not on the main path. This is to go down to the mall, but it's not in the mall. Mall right there, but we are going down around this corner, I think. I just want to make sure we're going. Okay, maybe we should check because it looks like we're going to the bus station. I might have not taken us the right way. Okay, we are in the right place. It's above the car park. The nice security man helped us, but it's right car park up there. That looks sketchy, but actually, it's really nice up here. So we are at Hela Bojun Hala. And what it is basically it started in Kandy, and it was an initiative to give women an opportunity for safe entrepreneurship. So, from my understanding, although this looks different than what I thought, it is basically like a food court, and we can see it over there. And it's women-owned businesses serving traditional Sri Lankan food. And it's supported by the government. And it did so well that this is the first one. And now they have them, I think, in several other locations in the country. So it ticks off a lot of boxes for me when we travel. I want to support local business, help the local economy, not international, like multinationals. And also supporting women, and it has traditional Sri Lankan food, which I'm always looking for, but also it's supposed to be one of the best places to eat. Are you excited?
Yeah.
He's excited. Let's go. And from what I understand, everyone serves something different so that they don't compete with each other directly. All right, let's go in and we'll take a look at everything. Oh, I see some wood apple drinks here. Also tea, paratha, sweet potato fries. I don't know if those are traditional, but there are actually some dishes here that are traditional, like milk rice, mung milk rice, palapa, pancake, and then it tells you who the cook is. This is pretty cool. Boiled peas, and then egg hoppers, so you've got lots of options there. So this place looks really great. There are lots of different options for traditional sweets and really, really good prices. So you see a lot of people, especially the kids here, after school. I think we'll go get a milk tea and then maybe a sweet. I think there's a woman over here serving some interesting things. Or maybe a savory. This place is a gold mine. It's packed, and I just love that you can try so many little things. So you can just order one, and it seems like the prices for most things start at 50. Very, very reasonable. I got this for 50, milk roti for 50. It looks like it comes with a chutney. And this is the most expensive, which I think I have to ask Alan. I think it's milk tea, not chai masala, but it was $1.30. So really affordable snack, and it just seems to be where everybody is. So I love that if this food is good, it's like a win-win for everybody. So trying a couple of new things for me. I'm so excited about this place because you can just try a bunch of little things. Like I got one of these, which is a baby jackfruit cutlet, which is called polos. And then also just things I had never heard of that were not on my to-eat list, like this, which is a milk roti. So I just quickly looked it up, and it's a recipe that doesn't use any eggs. So it just uses flour, cream, and a little bit of clarified butter or ghee. And the nice thing about it was she asked me if I also wanted, I think this is just like a chutney with it. So I'm very excited about this place, but it's spongy like a dosa. And get into this. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say not spicy. You get a little hit right there in the back of your throat, but it's almost like smoky. It's so complex. And this is just like eating a nice piece of bread. And then this. I've noticed that so much of Sri Lankan food, there's so many different curries and other dishes that have baby jackfruit. If you looked at it, you would just think like it's like a meatball or like a falafel. Well, this is really good too. I only got one, but I think I'm gonna go back and get more. This, you would think is meat. You know, jackfruit in like Western, we use it just as a pulled pork substitute, but actually jackfruit on its own, like cooked into dishes, is really, really good. I had to give this 10 out of 10. So good. I'm so glad we went here. Alan was looking for syrup with this, but you don't need it. It's like just so sweet on the inside. Another place that you have to come. Really, really good. And the price is amazing. And you're supporting women entrepreneurs. When you support women-owned businesses, you support families. It is
is a beautiful day in Ella. We are in what is probably the most popular tourist destination for locals and also foreigners. And we know this because we unknowingly visited on a 4-day holiday, which is one of the most popular times. Hard to get a place to stay, but we actually have somewhere really great. It's called the Green Lantern, and it's just outside the core of Ella, which is great. It's away from the noise, and it's in nature. We wake up to birds singing every morning and the most delicious breakfast. Now, the reason I chose this spot was actually for the breakfast. I heard that it was amazing. It had lots of fruit, which I love, but also a mix of Western and traditional Sri Lankan breakfast. But my favorite thing, the thing I really wanted to try is this. It's called Kiri Bath. Kiri Bath literally means milk rice. It's coconut milk, I think it's coconut milk, and rice. Alan's nodding yes, because you have something similar in Indonesia as well. So it's basically like a rice pudding or like a rice cake. It's a little bit sweet. Now, some people do make it sweeter at breakfast and they also put like some jaggery or palm sugar on it, but I am all about savory. And so we have this chili sambal. Now, it's also common to eat this with curries, with a lot of different savory foods, treat it as your starch. This curry sambal is amazing. Sambal actually comes from Indonesia, Indonesian influenced by the immigrants that the Dutch brought in, but this curry is different than Indonesian chili curry. So it is actually made with chili, onion. They have this Maldive dried fish that's in it that gives it a really interesting umami taste, almost like when you add anchovies to things, and a little bit of lime. It is so delicious, and it's not spicy. So basically, all you do is you put a little bit on here. It's salty, spicy. There's a little bit of lime juice in it to break it up. It is so amazing. This is my favorite breakfast, I think, in Sri Lanka. I mean, I love all of the parathas and things like this. This is the most interesting thing. And even though Ella is a huge tourist town, that doesn't mean you can't eat traditional food here. So today's plan is to just explore Ella. The really nice thing about it is that there are so many things that are within 10 minutes of the downtown core. So we're going to try to do as much of that as possible. Per normal, I have planned too many things, so we might not get it all done today, but it is a beautiful day outside, and so it's perfect for exploring. First up, we are headed into Tea Country. Now, we drove from Kandy to Ella on a bus through Tea Country, and it's gorgeous. Just the tea plantation, the farming, it is so stunning here. We're going to a spot called Lipton Seat, which is about an hour and a half away, more or less, and it's supposed to have fantastic views. Now, we rented a motorbike from our host here, and he arranged it. It's $2,500 for the day, which is great, but what was even more impressive was they brought it to us with a full tank of gas. If you have ever rented a motorbike in Asia, you know they only give you a little amount and tell you where the gas station is. It's just enough gas to get to the gas station, but these guys said it's a full tank. When you bring it back, give us a full tank. What a great start to the day that we don't have to go searching for a gas station and worry that we're gonna run out. To be honest, I did not expect this road to be this rustic. I thought because Lipton Seat was a popular tourist attraction that we would be in the tea plantations, but it would be better paved. So Alan is definitely getting his work in managing some of these roads. They're very bumpy.
so we decided to actually stop. We still have 20 minutes to the top, but it has started to rain, and this view here is beautiful. May not be officially Lipton's Seat, but look at this. Ella really is gorgeous. It's very windy up here, starting to rain, but I kept asking Alan if he wanted to stop because it didn't make sense to keep going just for the sake of it. That was treacherous road for a motorbike, and he said he would have kept going, except just with the rain, not only was it bumpy, tons of potholes, lots and lots of switchbacks, but also it was getting slippery. You know, we didn't plan to come to Ella because we just didn't know what the weather would be like this time of year, but I'm so glad that we did. We went to Tchikomalli because I love beaches, but I decided to take a chance on Ella because Alan loves the mountains. And driving through here on the motorbike was amazing, just experiencing the change in air and the smells, and it's so fresh here. And yeah, it's gorgeous. Definitely one of the most beautiful places I've been in a long time. I feel very lucky because I know this area usually has a lot of mist, which is beautiful, but this sun, it just feels like we put in all that effort to get here, and I feel bad. Alan said like the driving was really tough, but we put in the effort, we made it 3/4 of the way, and we get this view. This place is busy, but as promised, you don't have to hike into it. It's on the side of the road, and they've staged for everyone to go, which is fantastic. Now, the drive down here was absolutely beautiful. We are on the cusp of monsoon season, so this is the driest this region gets, and yet it's so lush and green. Right behind us, this is Ravana Falls, named after Ravana, who was the king of Lanka. And you might know him if you follow Indian folklore and the story of Ramayana. Now, there's a legend of these falls. They say that Ravana's brother and sister had their noses cut off, and so in revenge, he captured Princess Sita and he hid her in the caves behind these falls. I actually think you can go see these caves. We're not doing that today, but it's something you can do. You can also swim at these falls, but people say it's very slippery. So I think it's probably better to go swim at one of the many other waterfalls. So this is the driest it will be. In a few weeks, it's going to be monsoon season, and these become one of the widest waterfalls in Sri Lanka and are supposed to be really impressive. All right, so I would say it is beautiful here. The closer you get to the waterfalls, they almost seem less impressive. Maybe it would be spectacular during monsoon season. I see some men swimming, but I think we've had enough. That was nice. I think it was a nice stop, just 15 minutes outside of town, but it's time for a cold drink. It's time for King Coconut here in Sri Lanka. not cold, but so sweet. These things are smaller. Well, actually, these are the biggest king coconuts I think we've had in a while. And there's so much juice in them. As expected, the best part of our visit was actually getting the coconut. And that's because Samantha, who was the vendor there, was just so nice. We had a really nice chat with him. When you come to these locations, definitely stop and get a drink and get a coconut. I mean, fresh coconut. It was 250 rupees each for that coconut, which was a deal. And as soon as we drank it, it had so much juice. I feel like it was like a liter of juice in that, don't you think? Like a liter. It was a lot. Then he offered to cut it open, except Alan wanted to do it, and then like carved it out so we could eat all the coconut. It's such a deal. These vendors do not make a lot of money. They're local. Put money back into the economy. This is a free location. You can just go up and see it, but help the local community by staying for a drink or a corn or something. Just buy something and help the local economy. All right, so Alan is just experimenting with a new camera angle for his channel. And so I thought I'd tell you, we are headed now to Nine Arches, which is probably the most famous tourist spot in all of Ella. It's the big bridge that has 9 arches that the train comes over. It's supposed to be one of the most beautiful journeys. We are hoping to get there for the 3:30 train. I don't know if we're gonna make it, but if not, we're gonna check out the train tracks anyway, because it's supposed to be beautiful. And I'll have more on the train later, because we are finally gonna get a chance to take the train. It's gonna be spectacular. Interesting story is all of the people getting their pictures while you're trying to get your picture. Like, this is really what it's like. All those pictures where people are alone and woke up at 5 a.m. to catch the first one, that is not the reality when you come here. Look at Alan working hard, trying to get his shot. But this is really it. It's something that everyone wants to see, not just Westerners, but you can see lots of families here. Everyone's getting their picture. Now, if you want to skip the crowds, instead of coming down here like all of us, what you do is you can actually go up. There are a bunch of cafes that look down onto the train and provide amazing views. And also, if you go further over, there are tree plantations that also have great shots of the train. Finally taking the train, and I really want to thank Green Lantern, our host here, because we would have not known it was possible without him telling us and double checking that there were still seats. Good morning from the Ella train station. We are so excited to be here because we didn't think we'd be able to take a train in Sri Lanka. We'd read that you had to book 30 days in advance, and that is not something we can do because we don't plan well. But when we got to Ella, our host at the Green Lantern said that's only for ordinary trains. If you want to take one of the special trains, you can. It costs a bit more, but this one, Ella Odyssey, is not only going to take us to Colombo in 10 hours, it also has several stops along the way where you could take photos and videos of all the things that you missed while you were in Sri Lanka. So we are very excited to share this with you. Wow, this one we saw yesterday in Ella. It looks like such a cool train. I think it's operated by steam, but it's another unique one that you can take. This right here, where you can sit out in the open. It's so cool. Next time we come to Sri Lanka, we're looking for this train. So this is interesting. When we first got on, it was mass confusion of whose seat was where. We got on to our car and there was nobody else here. And I realized why. It's because we're going backwards. So the cars on the other sides are going forwards. We're going backwards. We were one of the last people to book a seat just a couple days ago. That's totally fine. There was no one here. In a weird turn of events, they booked us in the one place that didn't have a window. So whatever, we just moved to the front. So you can see the other two cars are actually going in the opposite direction. So in a strange way, we kind of lucked out by getting last minute seats and having a car to ourselves. Now as soon as you get on, everyone is trying to clamor to get somewhere to get their pictures, the iconic hanging out the window pictures, which is no problem because this was not a busy train. So a lot of people got on, and then actually because I'm sitting at the front with an open window, I offered to take their picture. So I would just say, if you're on the ordinary train, yes, you had that feeling that you have to get a good seat because a lot of people in third class will just sit here at the doors and they don't move. But second class on the Odyssey, 5 minutes in, so great. And the views here are incredible. Now, not everybody is going to Colombo. A lot of people are just going to Kandy, which means that they're guarding the door. But people have been really great. They go, they get their picture, their video, they move on, make room for someone else. We're on this train for another 8 hours, so we have lots of time for all of that. I think it's time to go check out third class, and maybe I can also find first class. This is second class. You can see it's not full, but it is facing forward, which is great. And then this is third class. So the nice thing about it actually is that you do get a table. The window does open. It's the reason I didn't get it was this. We're going to be here for 10 hours, and I just thought we needed a little bit more cushion. But it looks nice, and it's $1,000 less if you don't need cushion. You can see lots of these doors are open. Oh, hello! And we're going through a tunnel. And then I think here, another bathroom. And I think this might be the dining car. Let's see what we have here. Oh, they have booze. This guy is ordering vodka. But they also have sandwiches, samosas, lots of sweets here. And I think they might even have milk tea. So this is great. And chips. Alright, this is the first class car. Nobody's in it, so I think they turned off the air conditioning. But you can see seats are a little bit nicer and plush. They also have spots what it looks like to plug into something. And I think you get a plug. So that I think is probably the main difference. I think there's a very simple reason that people are not in first class, and that is simply because the windows don't open. The seats are a little bit nicer. The biggest plus is that you have a plug, which if you're like us and you're here for 10 hours, we had to charge everything and then get our chargers ready. But I kind of feel like even if I needed a plug, somebody would probably let me use this car. But I should be okay. I think though, second class is the winner. So So we've just made a short stop and it's into the small village where they are selling lettuce and strawberries that look so beautiful. Strawberries are 50 cents. Oh, it looks so fresh. People here are so friendly, even if you're not buying anything. I mean, this girl who he's talking to is not going to buy a head of lettuce. This is not only one of the most beautiful parts of Sri Lanka, but it's also where most of the produce is grown. So we're in the Highlands Hills, where the land is fertile. It rains more. It's a little bit cooler. And so people coming by are selling lettuce and carrots and yellow zucchini, strawberries. It looks beautiful. It's not all organic. The government wanted to go organic a while back, but didn't give any notice. I don't think they realized that it actually takes time, 5-10 years for land to go from a process where it was using chemicals and to become healthy again. So although everyone here, I think, would like to do it, you have to give people time in order to do that. And that actually involves loss for crops for a couple of years, which I don't know if the farmers here can afford, but pesticides or not, this stuff, it looks beautiful, and the people here selling it are so nice. Quick stop at Nanu Oya, which is the train station that goes to Nuwara Eliya, which we did not visit this time. But I think between this stop and Kandy, most people are going to be getting off the train. We finally got up from sitting at the door because it was so beautiful, but we're hungry. We got fried rice to eat, and we're gonna try to eat it to tell you about it while it's relatively quiet. Oh, it looks pretty good. So it's rice, chicken, some fruits.
I think it's some vegetable, spices.
Some spices, right? Like here's, it's not too spicy. And then they do, I think, have a package of hot sauce there. Yeah. All right, so 600 each for the fried rice. I think they picked it up in Nuwara Eliya because they gave it to us right after that stop, and they don't really have facilities to cook. But I have to say, this looks pretty good. And for 600, I feel like sometimes when you go to other countries and you have to eat on the airline, it's not very good. You're already saying it's good? Thumbs up? All right, thumbs up for this. Oh, that's tasty. And I have to say, I don't know how they cooked it, but it's really good. And you give it, out of 10, what do you give it?
Just give it 9.5.
You give it a 9.5. 9.5 for train food. That meal was delicious. Alan, I think, could have had another one. But I wanted to say, I think I understand now these stops. They're actually sites that you pass, and the train slows down because they know that everybody is an open window. So you can take a picture or a video or whatever you want, but they don't have formal stops. We have been on this train now for 6 hours. Oh my God, look at all the people. And you would think that after 6 hours you would be bored. We are not bored at all. This train is awesome. It just makes me realize how raw and pure and lush Sri Lanka is. It's like we cannot get enough of it. In fact, the only problem with this train is there's no brakes from the beauty. As soon as you think, okay, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna take a break, you see something out the window, but you see it on one side, you see it on the other side, you see way too many beautiful things here. This is like the best day. This is the best day. We made it to Colombo. So I would say that was about 10 and a half hours, but you know, with the train, you never know. And it was a fantastic 10 and a half hours, start to finish. I would definitely recommend that. I love that you didn't need to book 30 days in advance. And in the future, I am going to look for these opportunities. That's right, because we're planning on coming back to Sri Lanka. Who knows when, but sometime soon.